So every once in a while, it's really good to go back to the source. And back in 2017, I covered this, and John Hopkins completely backed up the information. But as the agenda unfolded, sadly, the professors at John Hopkins had to give up all of their credibility, all of their accumulated wisdom and knowledge, and kowtow or back down to the agenda or be ruined. But here's the deal. I still saved this, and this is important because exactly what they said then is still the same today. It's a mental illness, mentally retarded people, and for people to interact with them as though they're not mentally incapacitated makes you mentally incapacitated. And apparently, that's the plan. So here we go.
Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Richie from Boston. It's the 15th of October. It's 2018, and you are looking at an article and a video that I put up about 2 years ago. If you recall, National Geographic was honored by making history with a new cover where they put a small child, either a boy or a girl, a male or a female. It's tough to tell, and I don't actually recall. The reason I'm running through this again is I've gotten a lot of questions lately asking about the article links to this. The American College of Pediatricians, Best for Children, notice the little symbol up top, they published an article several years ago, and then they updated it again on August 17th, 2016, where it explained things straight up. Even though this doesn't need an explanation, they explained it straight up and down. I'll leave links in the description. How no one is born with a gender. Everyone is born with a biological sex. Did you see that? Do you see that? Everyone is born with a biological sex. Gender, an awareness and sense of oneself as male or female, is a sociological and physiological concept, not an objective biological one. And yet, every single solitary day, this is foisted upon your children. And it's relentless. This is from Rebel Circus. 15 gender fluid celebs you need to know. Well, maybe you don't know them, but I'll tell you what. Where do you think this young lady came from? She came out of the Disney machine. Look at this. Do you remember Hannah Montana? Do you remember this little girl? Well, that's her now. And she's gender fluid. As is this thing, Tilda Swinton, and this person. They need people to accept this, and for the most part, they have. Walk down the street, go into a mall, go into a store, go out in public and look around. First of all, to finish their experiment or their great work, they have to demasculinize men, and that's exactly what they're trying to do. And anyone that isn't a gender fluid, demasculinized man is targeted, victimized, or labeled. Do you see what I'm saying? This is the agenda. This is their goal. This is their God. This is who they worship to. Now, if you remember, or maybe you don't, I walked into the Satanic Temple's headquarters and videotaped this actual sculpture straight up. This is it right here in Salem, Massachusetts. And notice, hanging right out the window is the rainbow flag because that's all part of the agenda. They call this art. I explain in this video, which I'll leave links to in the bottom. If you haven't seen this, I put this up in May of 2017, and it's a walk through the entire building and everything that surrounds it. But I digress. What's important here, it isn't just some asshole with a laptop, meaning me, that thinks this. This is the American Society of Pediatricians that are explaining this stuff. This is bad business. Bad business. It seems like a place like the American College of Pediatricians should carry some weight. This should be being taught in schools right now. And yet it isn't whatsoever at all. They're using propaganda against us. I showed you this right here. The Smith-Mundt Act was repealed. Americans should be in the street burning effigies and raising pitchforks about this. The fact that our government has flipped the Smith-Mundt Act around, they are allowed to use propaganda against their own people. You use propaganda against an enemy, period. That's what propaganda is. And yet they're using it against us, and people don't seem to see the difference. It doesn't, and I don't get it. At any rate, John Hopkins, psychiatrist, this is from 2015. He wrote, transgender is a mental disorder, and a sex change is biologically impossible. These are the experts. These are the words that people should be talking about, not listening to stupid crap like this and this. You see what I'm saying? It's funny how many things have come out of Disney that are used against you. Anybody that's got children have Disney things in their house. If you don't, you're an absolute anomaly, and I doff my proverbial cap to you. But most people, for the most part, have a home full of children. They have a home full of Disney. This picture right here is a picture of Werner von Braun, a captured Nazi scientist that was brought home through Operation Paperclip to work for NASA to help build rockets, to help basically make more death. Here's a picture of him right here with Walt Disney. Disney played an enormous role in propagandizing the United States, in turning people into believing that NASA was something that was real, in turning science fiction into science fact. Disney worked hand in hand with the Germans. Disney works hand in hand with the Freemasons. Disney is detrimental to the safety and health of an American citizen, in my honest opinion. But it doesn't seem to stop anybody, because this stuff just keeps coming forward. Disney produces this. Disney produced all the teen idols that turn into absolute sluts or whores, or in this one, transgenders, and your kids are following them. The fact that National Geographic magazine, this is what National Geographic is and should have been my entire life. Here's a funny one. While looking for a video clip, I stumbled upon this video right here. Adam Looking for Eve, Season 1, Episode 7, where it's just naked people walking around, and YouTube has no issue with that. Now, I guarantee if I showed any of these naked people, they would take my channel down, because that's how they roll. At any rate, this was National Geographic growing up. This is the kind of stuff that you saw on the coverette, because this is what Nat Geo was about. Things like this. The fact that they decided to go and put a transgender child, or a child calling it a transgender, on their cover is completely, it's in line with the agenda. These people own absolutely everything. They're pushing it. They're normalizing it. And then they're even going past that. They're normalizing it to the point where if you don't believe that this is normal, you're abnormal, or worse, you could be labeled a terrorist. Who knows? That's just how it rolls these days. At any rate, links will be in the description. Richie from Boston. Like, share, subscribe, or don't. I am out.